everyone. This is Killshot from None and the Dead, and this is The Walking Dead Season 9. Ezekiel might be the next to leave. So I know it's like dropping new news to everyone every single night. Something different, something new comes up. This is a really interesting story. We're going to tie it into something that we've talked about. Before we get too far into it, I see your intro, Valar. I see you out there. So Valar, super chatting it, getting the party started. Hello 99 Army, Kill Steph, Emmy, Kale, Sweet Tommy sponsors, patrons, and of course all the super chatters. Valar's in a pretty excited mood because if you guys don't know, you can see the bottom corner there. We are, and this is something that Lisa Khaleesi, Valar, Drama King, a few others, we really started doing this, I guess, 6 or 8 months ago and planning it that we're going to get closer and closer. But with Game of Thrones right around the corner, yes, of course, we're going to start talking about Game of Thrones tomorrow night. I am not the resident expert on all things Game of Thrones, I will tell you, but you are. Many of you are, and I'm going to rely on your expertise as I start to gradually build up my knowledge a little bit more, but we're going to have a lot of fun with it. And I know as the season gets closer and closer and we're actually watching it, you know how our dialogue and our conversations go. And I could imagine, I mean, how many days a week you guys want to talk Game of Thrones once we're in season? 3, 4, 5? You let me know. Let me know how we're going to roll with this. But I love the show and I love the interaction. And to be honest with you, I just love getting together with each and every one of you and just talking about whatever we're going to talk about, whether it's The Passage, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Fear the Walking Dead. We're going to be there for it. So, wow, we got some people like 7, 8, 9. Hey, whatever you guys want to do, we will definitely be there. So I'm gonna jump into the dialogue tonight. This Ezekiel thing, we talked about it a while back. We knew that he would be there a little bit. Are you guys feeling the red fair? I mean, is anybody here thinking that we might have nailed that one? That Ezekiel is going to be the big death and it's going to happen in episode 15? The rumor that's out there, and look, they said it's going to happen. They're writing him off the show, but they couldn't give an answer whether it is season 9 or season 10. But I just feel like I think we might be on this one. I know a lot of people are saying they hope not. But we got to think with our head and not with our heart. And I think that's such a big opportunity to write him off in an epic fashion. Don't just put him on a pike with a few other people. Just make it a public display in the hilltop and make it a situation where people can't really stop it or do anything. And it'll definitely raise Alpha's level of evil to a whole different stratosphere. I know a couple people were posting comic stuff and said, hey, I just got 188. You know what? We're making some progress. I mean, who would have thought when we started doing this a year and a half or so ago? I got into the comic book reads because of you guys, but honestly, I never thought after I did the first 5 or 6 that I would make it up to 114, but we're moving right along. We're having a good time with it, and I hope you guys like the new comic format of just doing it as a premiere and just hanging out and watching it all together. And one thing that is also special about tomorrow night, we're going to have Game of Thrones, so Thursday Thrones. We may have some spoilers, so we are going to do a 9:30 stream. If we have spoilers, we'll talk spoilers. If not, we got a couple other topics we can talk about. And, of course, it is Valentine's Day, so I do want to give a special shout-out to all of you. If I somehow forget tomorrow, happy pre-Valentine's Day. Hopefully you guys got something special planned, and you can have us playing in the background. Or if you don't, just hang out, and would love to have all of you in the streams. Yeah, thank you. The melon farmer is it's starting to take off. It's got some staying power, I think. What is I'm going to jump into the story because you guys probably saw it on comicbook.com. What's a little bit odd about it is Brandon usually doesn't quote like a lot of other YouTube sites. So I'm about, 50% invested in this story because Brandon references We Got This Covered. So apparently the folks that we got this covered heard something or talked to Ezekiel. Now let me say this, and I'm not trying to steal their thunder because they're the ones going on the record for this. And I guess it's easy for comicbook.com. If it's wrong, he can just kind of brush it off. It's not necessarily a bad thing, because I'm not going to lie. We've done that before too. We use Spoiling Dead's fan pages spoilers, and if they're wrong, we give them the credit and say, hey, this is their spoiler, but if it's wrong, it's them. This is not, and I'm pretty clear with you guys when it's a prediction, when it's a bold prediction, when it is a strong theory. See, I've got a lot of different degrees of predictions. Or when it is a semi-confirmed, there's just a lot of them, and you just you can add different weights to them. But normally, comicbook.com gets the information, they just run with it. But in this particular article, they are saying that we got this covered is reporting from a strong source. So it's something that they heard from Ezekiel's people. Now, they don't know how, but they're just saying that they've heard he's been written off the show. Now, as I said, I'm not trying to take anyone's thunder here. But I'm not going to say the people, but I have been told by 2 people that are in our streams that have went to Walker Stalkers that Kari has implied to them that he was gone. Now, I don't put a lot of weight into it because, these are actors. They can mislead you. They can have a moment of honesty with you. I mean, they can kind of do whatever they want. So when you kind of hear that, and this happened several months ago. But same type of deal. We didn't hear a little bit more information from it. But like I said, I'm going to be very careful here. We didn't do articles on it. We didn't, go out there and say, hey, we heard this rumor, this is what's going down. But, now that somebody else is reporting it, and then comicbook.com feels that it's credible enough to run an article on it as well, even though they're citing the source. And the fact that we've been trying to write season 9B for them and figure out who would be these major deaths, I think it makes sense. I'm fine with it. So some people now saying it must be true, but still, if it's not, then it's all going to go back to the original source. So Darlene Rainick says, and if Michonne leaves next season, who's left? Carol and Daryl from the beginning. That's it. And there's going to be a strong push to keep them there. And of course the money. But I haven't heard a lot of if Ezekiel leaves, I'm boycotting. If Michonne leaves, I'm boycotting. I guess, there's just been so much turnover that the real fans are going to be the real fans, and then the other people are just kind of immune to it. And I get it. These actors, they sign non-disclosure agreements. But they do have friends and family and casual conversations. And we just live in a world of leaks. I mean, you got spoilers and you got information that's out there. And there'll be a little more stuff coming out from Spoiling Dead's fan page that'll validate it as well. Well, Lonnie, prepared for Ezekiel's death. So we'll kind of throw it out there to you. How many feel it is going to be a Pike scene? We got some yeses. We got some Pike scenes. Well, the question's going to be, in Stefanella, see, that's what I think. I think it's going to be Red Fair, and I think they're going to take the body. And I do think he's going to end up on a Pike. See, we got to find a way to get Ezekiel on the Pike. And I don't think it's just going to be one of those things where he gives up easily. So I do think he's going to get piked, but I think he's going to get CK Smith. That's exactly where I'm at. I think it's going to be, we are gathered here to bring all the communities together, and then I don't know. I think I made that nice sound effect, but you understand. And then, oh my God, what happened? They're running around, they're going crazy, and then the insult to injury is going to be they take the body. Now, Julie beheading him. Ooh, beheading him at the fair? Possibility. And if you look at the synopsis, when you get to 16, like, a major loss. I think Ezekiel would classify as a major loss. Throw some Rosita in there, then you got something working. Yeah, Villar, I do. I think Carol's going to need that nudge. But even if she loses Ezekiel, I don't know if Henry is still at risk, I don't think that's going to be enough to really push her into full beast mode. The protecting of her child would be so much more than the loss of Ezekiel. I just kind of feel that. Sheila Max, Kills, I'm glad you're doing other things. Walking Dead's just making fans nuts. We have tons of content. It's just finding content that everybody really buys into. And look, we're starting to see some good traction with the passage. There were several people that just kind of, they took it lightly, and then they went back and binge watched 5 episodes, and I've gotten some really good comments, really love this show. So, slow Dan. That's a fair question. Hey, guys, am I the only one thinking there's more bad things going on behind the scenes and everybody is leaving the show? That's always the rumor anytime people leave the show. I don't think so. I think it's a show that's been on, these people have been around each other for 10 years. And some they don't want to be pigeonholed in a certain role. They want to move on. They want to expand. Some people are going to leave before they're forced to leave. Some people get other opportunities. But a lot of these opportunities, I don't know that Andrew Lincoln would have gotten the same opportunities if he wasn't Rick Grimes for so many years. That kind of, it catapulted him to superstardom. June Smith super chatting. June says, don't know why. My heart can't go on with everybody leaving. Please tell me what's going on. June, I think you took like multiple lyrics from a song and made it into your super chat. That looks like a Celine Dion lyric there. So, June, I love my June Smith comments. You know, some characters are leaving for fear, but it does open the door for new characters. And we just got to give some of those characters a shot. You know, what's interesting is we kind of live for the moment on the show. So the episode we lost Rick, it was mixed feelings. It was like, yeah, Rick's still alive. Oh, Rick's not going to be on the show. But it was a little bit of hope. When Maggie left, almost everybody said so. I mean, there was not this big craziness for Maggie. And in fact, Sasha probably wasn't as big of a character, and there wasn't a huge, loss of Sasha, even though I liked Sasha's character. But Sasha's loss was probably a bigger deal than Maggie. And, we did streams and people just weren't up at night saying, oh my God, it's too bad. Now, Chandler was a much bigger deal than Maggie, than Jesus. Probably wasn't up there with Glenn and probably wasn't up there with Rick, but it was definitely up there. And we're just beginning to talk about Michonne. So we don't even know how she's gone, but it has the potential to be a big, big deal if they had the guts to kill her, which they don't. They won't kill Michonne. So here's my point to this, is June, we live in the moment. How many people really, really liked Judith and Negan in this week's episode? And I don't mean it was okay. I mean, how many people really liked it? Like, that was awesome. All right, good. Almost everybody. Now, how many people are a little bit saddened by the fact that Kari Payton's going to be leaving the show, that we're probably going to lose Ezekiel? Right? And yet I smile. I mean, we like Ezekiel. We like the character because we found out the news today. Okay, well, here's the way to solve the problem. Go back and watch episode 9 again, and then your mind will be taken off of it. It's just the way it goes with The Walking Dead. The more we watch the next episode that comes out, we're going to be in the moment. But we're going to get a few episodes it's going to be dark. So don't expect just all these happy moments and we're going to get these, Judith Negan feel-good moments. They will be there, and there will be other characters that are going to rise up. But you got to understand, the losses are going to be intense this season. So just prepare for them. But it does, from an acting perspective, it gives these people, the other actors, a chance to really step into the role. Scott Kernan, super chatting, says, at least his death is written and not actor choice. And that is the rumor. If comicbook.com, and we got this covered, is correct, he had no choice in the matter. So it kind of goes back to the other gentleman's comment a little bit earlier. Is there something going on behind the scenes? From what you hear, some of these characters that are leaving, I mean, look at Madison. Madison was like destroyed. She wanted to stay. Deanna when they killed off Deanna. Who's Deanna? She was like begging on Talking Dead, like, I just, bring me back for something. Just bring me back for anything. She didn't want to leave. So, they write off characters because they have to. They can't keep everybody alive. And Norman Reedus has been there since day one. He loves it. Melissa McBride has been there. She loves it. And they're bringing on some pretty good talent. We are about 21 minutes here. I do have an announcement I'm going to make in just a second. We got Scott Kernan super chatting it up. Says, it's unfortunate. As we now know, Gimple writes characters off like that. No respect for its actors, although I like him. He isn't the best person. Scott, I think there's going to be... Scott Gimple is one of those where people either... they love his genius or they hate him. Probably very much like Robert Kirkman. Robert Kirkman got some serious backlash in the comics as well. Serious backlash over Dwight as well. There's just people... these characters become more than people on TV screens, and they become more than, pages on a comic. And I don't envy their job. Because, sometimes you have to upset fans in order to bring them back or to reel them back in. We're going to touch on that in a minute. I think that's a very important topic, Scott. So, Drama King, losing one king, but this king is still here. 999 can't be stopped. The Drama King. So there you go. Nobody should be sad, right? Everybody, we got the Drama King. So, pike that like button. Give me a quick 999 if you guys love the Drama King. Thank you so much for that super chat. Long live the king, baby. Not Evil Dead. Nova Jinx 75 says, I hope we get to see Henry and Lydia get it on like Carl and Lydia did in the comics. I guess that's an acquired taste. I know of what you're speaking of, and there's some really, really eerie, creepy moments between Carl and Lydia. I'm okay. I'm okay not seeing that on television. But some people that are comic purists, yeah, maybe they want to see it. But Henry has both eyes. So let's move on. Scott Kernan, we now officially know Chandler did not quit. There is a there's an article that came out a little bit ago that is rehashing the situation with Chandler. Scott, I don't know if it was ever rumored that Chandler had quit. At least from everything that I saw, they said that he was forced out. Because there was like this big revolt with fans. And I don't think he ever said he quit. I think from what I heard, his parents were upset about it, and he had just bought a house, and he basically just kind of packed up and said, hey, I'm going to go work on my music career now. But I don't think it was ever implied that he left on his own. Twin on Tour, Jay, thank you so much. Appreciate that super chat. Give me a follow-up question, Twin on Tour. Appreciate the support, but yeah, if you want to ask us a question or throw something out there, we'd like to talk about your topic. Yeah, there was I saw that other article that came out today, and I was just or actually, you know what? Might not even be an article. It might have been a YouTube thing that showed up in my feed. I mean, I don't know why that's news today. Oh, okay. I mean, maybe that's why it's news today. All right, well, I appreciate that follow-up. So Scott, following up the super chat, says he declined to make a cameo in Rick's final episode. So, like I said, something showed up in my YouTube feed. I didn't watch it, but I think I saw the title of it, and it was something along the lines of Chandler. But if that's what brought the news back up, he didn't want to be in Rick's final episode because he was fired. But the only thing that kind of tells me is there's still some animosity. But we knew a year ago that he was basically forced off the show. And I'll give you the 3 or 4 theories that were out there. So Twin on Tour, Jay, with a follow-up says, you're the best chat. And wow, thank you so much. That's not only an awesome super chat, but also an awesome comment. If you guys agree with Twin on Tour Jay that our chat is amazing and we got a great group of people, then pike that like button. So I'm going to give you 3 things that may or may not have been included in that video. And this is the stuff that we heard. And we heard this from, one of them we heard from a very high-level spoiler source, and the other 2 were just kind of things that got kicked around a little bit. So, one is that they didn't want to pay him. They didn't want to pay him actor money, and they would have had to classify him as a star, and they didn't think it was the best way to move on. Number 2, they wrote it in as they were trapped because of what we talked about, how evil they made Negan. The writers got themselves in a hole, and they had to find a scapegoat or person to end the war, and that was Negan's attachment to Chandler, and Chandler is basically going to be the reason. And then the third one was they didn't think he was a good actor, and that he outgrew the role. Could be an element of truth to all of that, but kind of take your pick. We got Goucher with a super chat, throwing it out there. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. G squared. Throw up a follow-up comment if you don't mind. Just a comment. What do you think about the streams? If you got a question, if you guys can just check, see if... one thing I want you guys to do, I really appreciate when you guys super chat because, it supports this channel and we advertise a lot of things that we do. But if you want to type a comment, please do because, even if it's something simple like, hey, shout out to Kill, shout out to the moderators, or if you have a question, then definitely put it in there. But appreciate everything that you guys do. I know somebody's going to super chat again in a second. But we're at kind of the midway point in this video, and I do want to do something. It's going to take hopefully 30 to 40 seconds. Instead of an advertisement right in the middle, you guys know that, and we have sponsors, we have Patreons, we have super chatters, we have a lot of awesome people that support this channel. And I'm going to do Scott's super chat, and then I'm going to read out a few names here. And if you guys, I just want to give a special shout out. So Scott Kernan says, Gimple tricked Chandler into signing contract. He wasn't forthright with him, I'll tell you that. So one thing that I'm going to do really, really quickly is I want to send a special shout out to all of the patrons. And because you guys see them, you see their name up in the top left-hand corner. And, not only are they patrons, but a lot of them super chat and a lot of them are here. They participate in every video. And I don't do this a lot, but I'm going to take a few seconds. And I'm just going to go through by name and just say thank you because some of these have been patrons for like several years. So a girl in a Chihuahua, Alexander the Great, Alan Author, Amy Ferraro, Angie Homan, Anissa Wallace, Betty Jackson, Bob Dorman, BK Harp, Carrie Ann Stauffenberger, Casino Well, Chris Rainig, Crystal Singer Chick, Darlene Rainig, Dead on Leprechaun, Deborah Johnson, Deborah Cox, Diane Estes, Emmy Bacon, Eric Beach, Glenda Batista, Dwayne Sharp, Holly Pierce, Jamie Jordan, Jason Mixologist Daily, Gina Crockett, Jessica McWhorter, Wilson, Jim Kelly, Jimmy's Jammin', Joe Fulford, Jordan Suddeth, JP, June Smith, Cammy, I don't think I can ever say your name right. Cammy Cazaron, I'm going to try. Lisa Khaleesi, Kim Harveston, Knoxville Mike, Crystal Neufeld, Lakeisha Faison, Lee George, Lynn Myers, Maggie B., Mark Jalovic, Mitch True, Michelle Melton, Michael Dillman, Pete D., Rebecca Board, Night of the Living Fred, Robert Frank, Sherry Bentley, Sheila Beasley, Stefanella, Steph Richardson, the Cuervo Queen. You guys know Steph. Steve Smitherman, Tim Lamore, Walking Dead Nerd 13, Valar, Vicky Jack, Wet Venom, Whitney Hernandez, and William Finney. And that is my list of Patreons. Thank you so much. I just want to do that in the middle of a video because I always give a shout out to them. But, we start out with like 5 Patreons, 10 Patreons. And to have the level of support and you guys showing up every single night, thank you so much. Appreciate everything that you guys do. And we'll do some other shout-outs just for the 999 Army. I don't want to take away from the Super Chatters and take away from the people that aren't Patreons because each and every one of you are just as important. But I haven't done that in a long time, so just wanted to kind of take a moment. Thank you for being patient for us doing that. All right, let's jump back into a little bit more of the conversation. So Scott said Gimple tricked Chandler. There was that vibe, and there was that vibe that Gimple is a little sneaky. I've always appreciated his genius, and the one thing with Gimple that I really liked is the fact that he was awesome enough to step back and hand the reins over to someone that is much, much better at doing the job than he was, in my mind. And I think Angela's incredible. So season 9 has just been wonderful. Keezy is like a 999 my ass off. So you know what? A shout out to Keezy 502. Yes, you do. You 999 it off. So Scott is not a Gimple fan. Says he needed him for 3 more years. So Chandler at this point is kind of spilling the beans a little bit. I'm going to ask this question. And don't hate me if I don't agree with you. I love Carl Grimes. I'm really getting an appreciation for him in the comic book. I liked his character on the TV show. How did you guys feel about Chandler Riggs as an actor? I didn't think he was that good, to be honest. I thought he was okay. So, do you guys miss Chandler? Do you feel sorry for Chandler? Or do you miss Carl? Just kind of curious. Julia liked his acting. I mean, I just didn't. He was just kind of okay. To me. Miss Carl, but Chandler as an actor was brutal. I mean, there's some good comments, and I appreciate you guys getting your thoughts in there. Like I said, I don't, expect you guys to think better or worse than me just because of my opinion of Chandler. And same thing, I respect the way you guys feel about it. Just not a super big fan. I mean, Glenn, there was some missing Glenn. Rick, there's definitely some missing Rick. Michonne, I'm going to miss Michonne's toughness, and she's the glue right now. She's the group. How that's going to play off. And I'm going to miss Ezekiel. I like his character. I like his strength. I'm going to miss Ezekiel more than I'm going to miss Carl. I just wasn't super attached to him. Scott super chat says, "Don't get me wrong, Gimple was great. Season 4, Season 5, Season 6 was the best." And Scott, I think to your point, Gimple does have some greatness, but it was time for him to. You got to know when the party's over, and he's a good show. He's a good overseer of the franchise. because the franchise is reborn and is kind of sparked. Now, the Whisper arc certainly helped that, but how Gail Ann Hurd, how Greg Nicotero, how the people, Robert Kirkman even to a degree, Angela Kang, how they all, take this Whisper story and make it into something, you can still mess it up. It is not flawless. You can't just say, here, take this and make it great on television. The verdict's still out. We just got a chance to be introduced to them. Not everybody loves Alpha's voice, so that is a little controversial. Is she, annoying? Is she creepy? Is she scary? Is she brutal? The one thing I'll say from the actors is the actors keep saying, oh man, this was eerie. It felt like a horror movie. But, of course they're going to say that. Drama King, younger Carl was a better actor than older Carl. That I would agree with. I do think that I was kind of like Judith. I hope Judith doesn't outgrow her role, because I think she's tough and I like that age and the chemistry and the dynamics there. And I don't know her name, maybe you guys do, but just in a short sampling. Hey, look, I'm going to do a test right now just to see. And I need your complete and utter honesty. Don't hold back. Don't type something that you think that, people want to hear, people want to say. Who do you think is a better actor? The actor that plays Judith or Chandler Riggs? So Kaylee Fleming is her name. Who do you think is a better actor? Pick one. Judith or Carl? Nova Jinx with a follow-up super chat says, I think Matt Lentz has a lot more potential with Henry than Chandler Riggs did with Carl. Chandler could have improved a little bit with his acting. Wow. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, if you guys just read the screen, probably like 90% of people just pick Judith over Carl. Now, can I just ask an honest question? Is some of this Carl thing manufactured? Are we being a little bit too dramatic with the Chandler Riggs and Carl? Because, look, we don't know that much about Judith yet, and overwhelmingly, we've seen Judith in like half a season. And Chandler was there for like 8 seasons. And you guys have already just moved on, but yet I still hear like, yeah, poor Chandler, we miss him so much, and then it's like bang. So I'm just saying, maybe a little bit of it is it's just extra. Just a little bit. Now, I mean, you guys didn't expect me not to make some examples, did you? Hey, don't type a question or comment if you don't think I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. I'm going to interact. That's what we do. That's our live streams. Now, I'm going to disagree a little bit with the last super chat, and I think I know my audience pretty well. So Nova Jinx, this is going to be brutal on your super chat. Now, let's compare Chandler Riggs to Matt Lentz. Let's compare Carl to Henry. Who's a better actor? And I think you're going to find the same type of support for Carl over Henry. you're going to find 90% of people are going to say Carl compared to Henry. Now, can he act? Maybe. Is the role of Henry a good role? There's some annoying things that Henry does that I think stacks it against him. I'm going to give you another example, though. Here is a good actor from The Walking Dead, and it's somebody I can guarantee you hated. So, look, Matt may be a good actor, but the Henry role is not as good. Joshua Michael, who played Jared, is a very, very good actor. He did a great job of just making me want to choke him every time I saw him on screen. So his character annoyed me, but the way he played his character I thought was amazing. And I don't really see that with Henry. I just don't like the way it's played, and I don't like the character of Henry. And you know what I really liked? I liked the Jared Richard dynamic. And actually, I wish Richard was a character they would have kept around. I kind of liked Richard. I think he would have been a nice asset going into. Probably a cheap character too. I mean, they could have kept him around a little bit longer. They made him betray Carol, which was not in the comics, by the way, because Carol was already dead at the prison. Yeah, they gave Richard kind of a crappy storyline. But there are some good villains. There's some good people that can step up. We got June Smith super chatting. Carl was a little tight coming in on The Walking Dead, but I think he played the part well. He had guts for sure. I'm going to go back. It might have been drama queen. Drama queen. I'm good for that. Like once every 3 or 4 months, I get your name wrong. Might have been Drama King, who said young Carl was much better, and he did. Young Carl, I think, was well played, and I think it was good. He grew out of the role, and Carl and the Enid dynamic, the roller skating, even when Carl jumped out with a machine gun, it just didn't feel like the comic. You better believe RJ is real T-Dog. And if you don't believe it, you can go on 999 Gaming and you can get a RJ onesie. Thank you so much, Shannon McCullough. Appreciate you being here. I mean, look, we're not here. This is an Ezekiel stream. But you know what? I'll just ask. What's the most creepy Carl scene that you guys can remember? We got Drama King super chatting his forgiveness of my mistake. So here we go again, Kills, but I forgive you. Thank you so much. I mean, Sheila Max says nothing creepy really. Okay, well I'll give you one. How about the scene with Negan where he was singing "You Are My Sunshine"? That was a little. It wasn't my favorite scene between the two of them. I agree. I wasn't going to use the word cheesy, and I definitely don't like the. I don't like cringeworthy. I'm just not a fan of that whole vibe. But yeah, I did not like that. And see, and I think many of you didn't like that either. And like I said, I'm not here to. It sounds like I'm bashing Chandler and I'm bashing Carl, and that wasn't really my intent. But it's starting to lean that direction. So you know what? I'm going to transition because I'm sure Chandler Riggs is a good dude, and I'm not like one of those that likes to sit back and just criticize everything. I just don't. I didn't have a big attachment. I'm okay with people that did, but I just don't miss him a whole lot. And hopefully that's not taken as too much of a negative. Nova Jinx super chatting says Henry's been isolated most of his life. Ezekiel thought he wasn't ready, and Carol wanted Daryl to teach Henry how to survive in the apocalyptic world. There were things about Henry that I was okay with. There were some things that they wrote into his character that I thought were unnecessary. And I don't know that they had the foresight to think, okay, we're going to be in season 9 and we're going to go back and evaluate the whole body of work of Henry. But when Henry was learning how to fight with Morgan, and when Henry was kind of following Carol out in the woods, I was a Henry fan. When he unlocked the gate, I thought that was dumb. I thought it was bad writing. I didn't even think it was necessary. So I created this negative viewpoint of Henry at that moment. And now transition, and we can say, okay, why is Henry kind of this righteous and has to do things a certain way? All right, well, maybe some of that is Ezekiel. Ezekiel sort of instilled in him do certain things. But they're trying to show the peer pressure. Henry had to drink to get put in jail. So there's a lot of the story that is a little bit forced, but then Henry drinks a little bit and he doesn't like, so he's battling. I get it. I mean, I can relate to Henry's character. Wants to fit in, even said to Daryl, doesn't know where he fits in, has a few drinks. Sees people picking on a walker, doesn't like it, wants to step in, do something about it. But he had to be locked up because the Lydia scene is relying on Henry. In a weird sort of way, Prince Hennessy, is the one pushing the story along. But even the the scene where Carol, Daryl, and Hennessy were all by the lake. There was some things manufactured that scene seemed a little forced to me too. I'm in love with 9B. I love it. But I like the part where Henry is wise enough to tell Daryl, like, you and my mom are really good friends. She talks about you a lot. She really misses you. So, I'm good with that part of Henry. Daryl saving the dog and a walker getting Daryl's leg and he drops his knife and Henry has to save him. No. You know why? Because Daryl's like Chuck Norris. There ain't no way one little decrepit walker is going to pull Daryl and make him drop his knife. And he's going to have to rely on Henry. So I don't use the term bad writing often. I just think Henry's he's at a disadvantage. And I hope they don't do that with Charlie anymore on Fear the Walking Dead. You know what? I'm ready to like Charlie. I don't need any more moral dilemmas with Charlie. She killed Nick. Now she's, Alicia's going to forgive her. They're going to give her a second chance. I don't want any whiny, indecisive Charlies anymore. Build that character. Do what they're doing with Judith. But stop playing with my emotions. I'm going to catch up on a couple comments here. I saw somebody said Gamma. Did I miss a Gamma comment? Is Gamma back? Did we get our YouTube situations figured out? We need a dog backstory. I'm okay. Yeah, I don't understand why Gamma can't make a second, third, 10th account. God knows I have trolls that pop in that have no problem making 10 or 15 accounts when they want to make some derogatory comment. So, Gamma, if you're listening, Gmails are free, my man. It's real easy to do. Yeah, just call it like Gamma 1. You're good. So we got a ton of people here tonight. As you guys know, we start out with a stream. And like most topics, it starts out, we got a good topic, and we're going to bounce around with Super Chats a little bit. There's a lot of new faces. So if you're new, just hit the 999 Dead little logo in the bottom corner. Subscribe. We want you to hang out. We're live on 3 channels almost every night of the week. So most of you know the schedule. If you don't, check out our Facebook fan page. But I'll just start with Sunday. So Sunday technically is the first day of the week, and that's Walking Dead Day. So at noon, we do a Walking Dead topic, and then at 8 o'clock at night, and that's on this channel as well, we do our Walking Dead countdown, then we do a reaction video. And then on Monday nights, we're going to do a Walking Dead recap, and then we do a little bit of passage reactions. Tuesday night, we are doing, can you guys... this Hitman guy, can you guys bar him for his stupid use of numbers and trying to think he's clever for some reason, and make sure that he never enters a stream again? What a repulsive and offensive thing to come into a chat and type. I mean, you must really have some mental issues to be in this day and age and to do stuff like that. There's nothing cute about that. As I was saying, moving forward, Tuesday night, we're doing our 5 best scenes. Wednesday night, you guys can see we got another Walking Dead topic. And then Thursday nights, we are talking Thrones on Thursday, and then Walking Dead spoilers probably a little bit later. So that's what we got going on, everybody. We're 55 minutes in. That's right, Sherry. You come in here, you better be ready. You better bring it, because we don't allow trolls. This is a no troll zone. Pike the like button while you're doing that. All right, everybody, I'm going to leave it open. A couple minutes just for open topics. Any questions? They don't have to be super chatted questions, but anybody I didn't get a chance to get to. And Phyllis is super chatting. So, all right, we'll take a super chat as well. Phyllis9654. Just wanted to say that I love being here. I don't comment often, but I'm always listening, reading comments. Kills, I appreciate you and what you do. You're number one in my book. Thank you. That is absolutely... That's like, Phyllis, that's like a Valentine's. I appreciate that. That is, the super chat is sweet, but the comments are a million times more important than the super chat. But thank you so much. Appreciate that. And this group of people, not just myself, I'm very blessed to have a great group of moderators, and not just the moderators, but a good group of super chatters that do change the conversation and keep it enlightened, and a 999 army that is here and participating and not just reacting to my comments and my questions and my pulse surveys and all the funnel theories and things that we do, but a lot of times, you guys kind of communicating with each other. I can see it's a tight-knit group. Roxanne Dunlap, why don't they ever recast? Carl could have been recast with the 6-year time jump, and love you, Kills. Thank you so much. Roxanne, and I think that's where... one of the 3 theories that we talked about came in, that the character of Carl was an excuse or a vital role to end the war because they didn't have an easy transition. And they couldn't figure out a way to... The Saviors were too far gone, and Alexandria, the story had already been played, so Carl had to be that figure that had to make people stop and say, we're doing it for Carl. And they did, to their credit, they did try to do that. And I guess that was the, instead of recasting or changing the characters to a younger version of Carl, they figured, let's just kill him and move on and change it up from the comics a little bit. Crystal, the singer chick Gore, says, Kills, would you please shout out to my cousin, new to the channel, not chatting yet, Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane, thank you for being here. Your cousin, Crystal, the singer chick Gore, is amazing. Appreciate you being here. And if you did come here via Crystal, thank you so much for that reference and for building up our group. What an awesome group of people. Darlene Raining, super chatting. Thank you so much, Darlene. And Darlene is a Patreon as well. Darlene and Chris, and appreciate everything that you guys do. And certainly appreciate the super chat as well. So, awesome group. June Smith, Kills. We're all friends here, right? Sheila, Julie, Nerd, and we are. I hope. I mean, at least, I feel like we're a tight-knit group. And we're hitting 59 minutes, and if I don't start to wind this thing down, we're going to have... We've had videos where we've had super chat competitions where we started closing down a video, and we had 2 or 3 people super chatting for like 10 minutes. And... we have a lot of fun with it from time to time. But there are going to be some other things for the channel that I'm going to gradually release. You guys will see that. Like I said, there's a method to the madness. One last thing that we'll do, as I said, special shout out to all the Patreons, special shout out to all the sponsors, moderators, Emmy staff, Tommy Kells. Everybody here, if you guys can do me a favor, we are fam. There you go, Dan. I did that for you. Give me a quick 999s. Let me do some shout outs for everybody's here. I don't think I can do that in an alpha voice. I'll practice it a little bit more. But yeah, give me some 999s. And we did hit a couple milestones. We hit over 1,000 subscribers on the 999 Army channel. We're pushing almost 2,500 on this channel. And 999 Gaming, we got some really special things planned on our main channel, 999 Gaming. You guys seen the comic book reads, a couple other things within the next couple weeks, so I'll be making an announcement on that as well. So just stay tuned. It's going to be a fun... We don't take time off, so this is a year-round group of people. Even during the summer when you guys think that there's not a lot of stuff going on, there's still a lot of stuff going on. Thanks so much. Cammie, Slow Dan, June Smith, Walani, Marcus Arnold, thank you so much. Hippo in the house, thank you. Joe Max, James Powlett, thank you, James. Darlene Rainig, thank you for the hearts and the roses. Appreciate that. Happy Valentine's Day to you and yours as well. Chris Rainig, Newfield 12, Walani, Sam B, Bumblebee Brown, thank you. Lisa, Joey the Gator, Omicron, representing those whispers. Gamma, somewhere out there in the YouTube purgatory. Hopefully we will see you by name again very soon. What's up, DP Games? Derek, good to see you. Star Guitar Goddess, Mariah Campese, thank you so much. Mariah says, I don't know how you read all the comments. Do you read replay comments? I usually don't watch the replays. Some of you guys do, and thank you. If I had a little bit more time, Chris, you better have words. A sidebar. Make sure you get those hearts. Julia Muse, thank you. Fake News Everywhere, thank you. Rhonda DeLuca, Shane Yahtzee, Skullcrusher 69. Valar, Gina Crockett, Tommy the Man Bun, Ramona Heath, Rob Metcalf, Mark Kuhn. And keep in mind, hey, if you guys have Valentine's plans, don't cancel them. Go out, do your dinner, have a good time. If you are around a iPhone, computer screen, iPad, whatever, tomorrow, we will be doing Talking Thrones at 8, and we will be doing Walking Dead chat at 9:30. So thanks, everybody. We're going to wind this thing down. I'm going to go hang out with the 3Gs for a little bit, and I will talk to you all tomorrow night at 8 on the 999 Army channel. So we're going to be over on our sister channel, 999 Army, to talk a little bit of Thrones. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.